2008 is when they were building the new sanctuary, which was a big deal, of course. And that Christmas Eve service, everyone bundled up and we froze our butts off in the new sanctuary. They gave everyone Sharpie markers and kind of explained that, this is going to be this new chapter for VNC, and to think of someone that might need a home, a safe place like this that you can bring them to, and someone that might need the story of Christ in their life, and to write their name on the floor, because then they would always be a part of this building and of this sanctuary. And I can't remember if there was anything specific that had happened recently to make me think of this person, but his name immediately popped into my head. And so his name is the one that I wrote down, because I knew that even though he'd maybe grown up a little bit in the church, kind of on and off, he was struggling kind of personally at that point already, and really was kind of like looking for a direction to go. And so I knew that this would be a place that would be fantastic for him to experience. I never told him about it. I never mentioned it because I don't know why I didn't. It just I did forget for years and years until this last November. I was sitting in church and I realized that his name was the one on the floor. I knew that at that point I had to bring him and I had to show him that. He was coming up for my birthday because we see each other, he knows the family and everything. He was a part of my wedding. And so we all went to church the next day. And afterwards, I just told him that I wanted to show him something and kind of tell him a story. And so I walked him over to where it was, and I just told him that 8 years ago, we had this special service, and we were told to write someone's name down. And I told him that I had written his name down, and that we were standing on top of it. If he tore up the carpet right there, he would see his name written down. It was a really hard year and a half for him. There were a lot of really scary moments. And through all of that, every time that he felt alone and every time he wasn't sure what was happening in his future, or who he was or who was there to love him, that through every single one of those moments, his name had belonged in the sanctuary, and that most importantly, that God was seeing him through all of that, and he wasn't ignoring any of that pain or that loneliness, that God was there for all of that, even if it never felt like it. You could tell he kind of took it all in. But then that night, after he was at home in Indianapolis, he called me and he said that, he had shared it with his family. It was important. It was important to me, but it was more important to him because, he needs to know that, and he needed to know that he wasn't ever alone, and that God was seeing him through all of those terrible moments.